Guys, I think it's time for me to finally address the allegations. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Femyoz. These allegations have been around for ages. Why haven't you addressed them until now? And why are you suddenly deciding to address such serious allegations? And, well, that is a very good question. The best answer I have, truly, is I don't know. Now, with that being said, these allegations are very serious, okay? This isn't meant to be taken lightly at all, okay? And today I'm actually going to be debunking the allegations against me, okay? And I think that, spreading the allegations against me is very wrong. It's very hurtful. I don't know why anyone would do it. And I just it's like people just love to spread allegations about me, and all I can do is make this stream defending myself. And those allegations, of course, are the bottom allegations. I am not a bottom. Anybody that says I'm a bottom is lying to you, okay? They are lying. They're not being truthful. And, I think it's very wrong to spread false allegations that hold this much weight. I don't appreciate the slander, the bottom slander. It's not very nice. How would you like it if I falsely accused you guys of being a bottom? I bet you'd be really angry if I did that, because that wouldn't be a very nice thing for me to do. So yeah, hello everybody watching. Hello Lord Pasta. Hello Emilian Fire, Felix Chaplin, and Tawan. Is that how you pronounce your name? I will watch later because it's midnight. Fair enough. Let me guess, you're still gonna lie about being a good little bottom? Nuh-uh. That's not a lie. I'm addressing the allegations. Wearing cat ears and a maid dress. I'm not a bottom. Shut up. I'm not. I'm a switch. Okay. I'm a switch. These are false accusations. Okay. I'm not exclusively a submissive bottom. Okay, guys. I swear. All right. I do not appreciate this slander. No, Battelle Crafter. It's not the confession stream. It's the opposite. I'm addressing the allegations. I'm proving them false. I am not a bottom, okay? That's what is no, this isn't. No. Stop. Bottom US confirm. I'm not. Oh my god, I am not a bottom. Shut up. That's what this is. Also, hello, Sunny VR. I'm not. This isn't lies. No, this is not the diaper thing. That was an entirely separate allegation that got debunked. But no, we're talking about the bottom allegations today. Yeah. Anyways, where was I going with this? I don't even know. You saw the video I made? Oh yeah, trying on the epic femboy outfit ideas. Very based. But no, this isn't a confession stream, okay? Okay, alright, if okay. I'll admit to being a bottom under one condition, okay? Because I'm a greedy whore, okay? if this stream, if I get over $100 or more USD during this live stream, I'll admit to being a bottom. No less. Femyoz isn't a bottom, she's a super bottom. Nuh-uh. And you decided to wear the maid dress to refute the bottom allegations? You better believe I did. Okay, think about it. Think about it logically, okay? If you think about it, you know, if I was a bottom, I would be trying to like hide it, you know? So I wouldn't be wearing a maid dress, because if you think about it, like that would be intuitively not the correct move. But because I'm so immune to the bottom allegations because of how much of a top Giga Chad I am, I can just wear a maid outfit and just come across as an absolute Giga Chad. Super cute bottom. Nuh-uh. I guess you're just gonna have to top on your OnlyFans to prove it. Nuh-uh. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. You see, if I were to top on my OnlyFans, that would actually make me be more submissive, because I would be doing what you're telling me to, which is a very submissive thing to do, if you really think about it. She's refusing to provide proof of being a top. Well, you can't prove that I'm not a top. You know, look, I guess the proof that I can give is 1 second. I need to move this. Collab when? I don't know. Oh wait, let me move this over here. Okay. Alright, first of all, okay? First of all. Look. Chat. Oh my god. Look. If I was a submissive bottom, why would I have such gargantuan muscles? I'm very good at English today, as you can tell. If I was a bottom, why do I have such massive hulking biceps? No one who's submissive has this stature, okay? I am too built. I am too strong and manly to be a bottom, okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. It's just an objectively true fact. There's nothing you can do about it. All we can prove is that you want to get stuffed like a custard donut. Shut up. No. I require video evidence of you being a top. No, no you don't. Burden of proof is on you to prove that I'm a bottom. Stop running from the truth, bottom. I'm not! Hashtag bottomyos. Bottoms can't speak English. Nuh-uh, I can speak English and broken Spanish. So, I'm actually a step ahead of all of you. Porque yo puedo hablar español también. Mi español es una puta mierda, pero puedo hablar español. So yeah. Anyways. Assume bottom until proven top. No, it's the opposite. You assume top until proven bottom. Okay? I'm innocent until proven guilty, okay? So, if you think about it, I recognize puta. That's good news. I'm glad you recognize at least one word of the Spanish sentence I spoke. Yeah, anyways. I'm not, look, I am beating the allegations once and for all. Unless somebody donates $100 because I'm a fucking sellout. I don't give a shit. I mean, but check Discord and we'll judge based on your reaction to what I sent. Okay. I'll check Discord. Installing updates, my fucking ass. Fuck you, Discord. I don't want you to install updates in the middle of a stream. Cunt motherfucker. Fuck you. It's the oh my god. You've already sent me this image like 5 trillion times. Hold on. If anybody is curious as to what this image is, it's this one, of course. In case anybody was wondering. So, yeah. Anyways, I have a woman kink. That just sounds like you're gay. The one I just sent is different from the other one. It's the same concept. Femyoz #1 fish with diaper kink who gave dingo manager role even though he won't talk to me. I mean, the last part is true. But yeah, it makes sense that Jalen would have a woman kink because she's gay. That gif is what my BF does to me. Oh, and you're gonna call me a bottom? You're gonna call me a bottom? Lord Pasta, you're the biggest fucking bottom I've ever spoken to. Alright? I bet you would get on your knees and call me mommy if I asked you to. Takes one to know one. Nuh-uh. Not true. Not true. You're just a bottom. That gif is what bottom US wants done to her. Nuh-uh. That's not true. Hell nah, I am too gay for that. Oh, that's true. I guess the more I transition, because you're mostly just gay, the less attractive I am to you. That's interesting. That's right. Gay guys don't find me as attractive anymore. Interesting. That's like a okay bottom. Just shut up. I'm not a bottom, okay? And I will die on this hill, okay? What, like, again, the reason I said it, the amount of money that I have to get during this stream to $100 for me to admit to being a bottom is because I know that nobody's gonna fucking donate $100. Like, so yeah. So I can just can I, as a fellow not bottom, you're definitely a bottom Femyoz. Shut up! No, I'm not. What if I do? You cap. You are not gonna. No one's gonna donate $100 to me. There's no way. There's no one is gonna do that. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen. Okay? Which is why I'm not going to admit to being a bottom. So, like, I'm equally confident in both outcomes. Me not getting $100 and me not being a bottom. The only bank you want to go to is the sperm bank. Shut up. Shut up. That's not true. That's not true. I think that I think that the bottom allegations are actually a grand conspiracy that was orchestrated by Nicholas Diorio because Nicholas Diorio is secretly the biggest bottom in the commentary community who wants his pussy to get cream pied. So in order to in order to I guess evade these allegations, he's actually orchestrated an entire grand conspiracy against me so that all of the bottom allegations apply to me. The seat of Bottomyos's chair is conveniently out of frame, so we can't see what she's sitting. Okay, no, it's a close call between him and Turkey Tom. The way Femyoz says bussy to get cream pied confirms that she's a bottom. Nuh-uh. I'm gonna change my user on your Discord from Nicholas Diorio to something else now because of this. No. When I was describing Nicholas Diorio secretly wanting his bussy to get cream pied, that's what he wants. That's not what I want. You know, I hear that I hear that Nicholas Diorio really wants to get cream pied by John Swan and Mr. Girl. He's you know, he has two holes, one for John Swan and the other for Mr. Girl. Imagine not being a bottom. Couldn't be me. Yeah, we know you're a fucking bottom, Lord Pasta. We know. The way Bottomyos gets flustered when she thinks about getting impregnated proves she's a bottom. Nuh-uh. No, it doesn't. You're a bottom, not me. Okay, can we all agree that Jalen is more of a bottom than me, at least? Because, like, okay, even if you think I'm a bottom, like, you have to agree that, like, Jalen is more of a bottom than me, right? Like, can we at least all agree on that? Well, what do you... Yeah, no, yes, she is. You have... Okay, if you think that the answer is no, you have not fucking seen the way she types. She does not have top energy. I'm sorry. She doesn't... She has the opposite of top energy. I'm sorry. She's like the subbiest motherfucker. I'm sorry. It's just no. You cannot in good faith say that Jalen has top energy. She doesn't. She does not have top energy. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Anyways. Sub equals bottom. You can be a sub top. Yeah, I know, but like there's like a correlation there, right? The only top energy you give off is when you... Oh, sub doesn't equal bottom? Okay, I was gonna say, you were making contradictory statements. Okay. Can you agree then that I'm... Okay, so does that mean that when you call me a bottom, you don't act... You're not even thinking that I'm submissive and that I'm actually a the dom when I'm a bottom. Because if that's the case, then it's like, well, you know, I guess I could do that. You know, I'm just such a dominant individual that I can be a dominant top and a dominant bottom, you know? I'm just such a bottomyoz is a trad wife. Okay, that's kind of true. That's kind of true. The real divide. Damn. Okay, all of you in chat are fucking bottoms. I'm sorry. Like, you're all... Everyone that calls me a bottom is a fucking bottom, okay? That's all. You're just projecting your own bottomness onto me, okay? You're just saying that I'm a bottom because that's how you feel about yourself, okay? That's how you feel about yourself. Yeah. When you point your finger, 3 more point back at you. Maybe. Yeah, don't say maybe, Vital Crafter. That's a yes. Okay. Maybe is bottom speak for yes. Okay. Maybe is bottom speak for yes. Let's not pretend like that's not the case. Come on. We all know what maybe actually means. Cool, I guess I never called you a bottom. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that are projecting their bottomness onto me. That's what I'm talking about. Bottomyoz is fluent in bottom what bottom speak do I do? Provide sources, please. Maybe a switch? Who, me? I actually am a switch, indeed. Or are you talking about yourself? Look, okay, I've had like a weird experience with people that are switches though. Like that's the thing, is like there'll be people that are like the most dominant motherfuckers, but apparently they're a switch and they're actually submissive like 99% of the time, but then they make an exception for me for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's really weird. But I swear to God, they're like more aggressively dominant than like the average like fully dominant person in a weird way. I don't know how to explain it. It's very strange. But yeah. Now because I'm doing a chill stream, at Lord Pasta, I assume you're still watching this. You uploaded a video 3 days ago that you suggested I watch. So I'm willing to do that. I sent you proof on Discord. Okay. Hold on. Discord. My ex tried to get me to top. I failed. Well, that just sounds like you being a bottom. Okay, what is this clip? Okay. Maybe is... Okay, wait. Hold on, let me play this. Maybe is bottom speak for yes. Let's not pretend like that's not the case. Maybe... well, okay. Well, I'm just saying... Well, okay. Just because... if I was taught bottom speak by you guys, chat, then that's because you guys are bottoms, okay? So, yeah. Anyways. where was I going with this? You didn't prove anything. Shut up. Fuck you. Okay. So anyways, oh wow, the video is actually doing fairly well for him. So it's already got 1.6k views, which for a channel with just over 1,000 subs, pretty good. So the video is called Keffels was wrong to interview Chris Chan. It's 5.5 minutes long from Lord Pasta Productions, who's actually watching the stream right now.
So, Keffels recently interviewed Christine Weston Chandler, formerly known as Chris Chan. If you don't already know who she is, and where have you been if you don't, she is a webcomic artist who invented Sonichu, a
my favorite creation of all time.
half Sonic, half Pikachu creature, and who has been followed extensively. Kiwi Farms, the website Keffels attempted to cancel, was initially created to document her life. She is also known for most likely raping her elderly mother, being delusional and mentally disabled. It was her first time coming back in the public view.
Sounds like a wonderful person. Oh my goodness gracious.
Since she was in jail. Now, it's come to my attention that some of my friends have decided to argue that this is okay.
Hi, that would be me.
This decision to interview her. I couldn't disagree more. In my mind, there is almost no reason that interviewing Chris Chan is a good idea.
What if it's entertaining and doesn't really cause that much harm, right? Chris Chan's gonna be on the internet anyway, right? Like, she's constantly live streaming, so I don't see how an interview with Keffels would be any worse for Christine than doing live streams where she just gets trolled the entire time by her audience.
Especially if you are Keffels. To be clear, I don't think this is the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly something that should not have been done. And once you stop gooning to the fact that it's so cool and fascinating to see Christine talk about how she is the second coming of Christ and the avatar of all existence, you too will realize this fact. The actual contents of the interview doesn't need to be gone into with any great detail. You can easily go watch it yourself. The tone is casual, as much as that can be the case with Christine, and at times friendly. The questions are normal, again, as far as that too can be the case.
Okay, fair enough.
I've seen many people object to this interview, but here I want to just list a few commonsensical reasons for doing so, which will hopefully convince all those who remain gooning to the presence of a lolcow. First, let's talk about the optics of an already hated trans woman having a friendly conversation with someone like Christine, who is visibly insane, probably a rapist as far as one can hold her responsible for that, and also someone who publicly transitioned recently. It's not
no, she didn't publicly transition recently. Like, she's been transitioning for many years now. Like, she's been on estrogen and whatnot for a while. So it's not like a recent thing. I think this has been known for a while. I mean, there have been a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, Chris Chan isn't really trans, but
not a good look, and this is something people aren't talking enough about.
I mean, I'm not interested in whether or not it's a good look, right? I'm interested in whether or not it's morally bad, I guess.
In this respect, it is similar to Hassan's interview with the TikTok Houthi pirate. Of course, with the important caveat that Clara doesn't actually support rape. It very well may be seen by some as showing sympathy to rapists.
Not necessarily. I feel like you can have like a nuanced perspective on that, right? Like, you can have an interview with somebody without endorsing all of their beliefs or endorsing everything that they've ever said or done, right? Like at the start of the interview, like she literally prefaces, or at the start of the video containing the interview, she literally says that, like, Christine is not, like, necessarily, like, an innocent victim, and she's done horrible things, and there have also been horrible things done to her, right? So I think she, like, right off the bat kind of addresses that, right?
Next, let's consider what kind of representation this is for the marginalized communities Christine belongs to. Obviously, she's a bad representation of a trans woman, with her being a carbon copy of what a 14-year-old 4chaner would caricature a trans woman as. It's also
I mean, I guess Christine would be, but you have to keep in mind that Keffels is also a trans person that's in the interview, so it's not like Christine is going to be the only person representing trans people in the interview, right? Like, if this is like an optics thing for the trans community or whatever, like, Keffels is like a pretty normal looking and sounding trans woman, so I don't know if this argument holds up, right?
also certainly bad representation for autistic people such as myself. Many people online already associate autism directly with Christian, as well as for
I guess there are some people that do, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we can just continue.
Those with other conditions. Most people suffering from delusions, for example, thinking that a portal from another dimension is about to open up, allowing fictional characters to enter the real world, don't go on to rape their own mothers. Finally, many have talked about exploitation. That's a real concern here. In the past, Christine's popularity has put her in the crosshairs of malicious actors who have successfully manipulated her. Putting her back into the public space makes you complicit with that kind of thing if it happens again in the future. And
well, I don't think that Keffels is like a malicious actor necessarily. I'm not really I'm not an expert on Keffels. She could be a bad person behind the scenes or whatever, right? But as far as the actual content goes, it didn't come across as malicious. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that, I feel like in order for me to take the argument of exploitation seriously, there has to be like some sort of like obvious harm that's being done to Christine, which doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like that regardless of whether or not Keffels does the interview, I mean, Christine's going to continue live streaming. People are going to A-log her no matter what, and I don't think that, hell, she makes some amount of money from it at this point, yeah, I mean, Keffels probably is a bad person, TPH. I mean, probably, but, like, not because of her content.
We have every reason to believe that it will happen again. Imagine what people would say if a large news agency did the same interview. Look at how we treat other incompetent persons, such as children. Responsible adults don't allow them to make decisions that are to their detriment.
So I don't think that this is a decision that is to Christine's detriment, right? I just don't see how you can shrug that off. What, Keffels allegedly being a bad person? Look, I just don't see how this harms Christian in any meaningful way.
Like eating all the cookies, having sex, or in a sane world, posting content online.
Yeah, but you do realize that Christine is making money from live streaming at this point, right? Like, that's like her main source of income, right? So yeah, I don't know. If she wasn't making any money from this, then I guess that might be worse, but I don't know. It seems like this is like a a genuine career path for her at this point. I mean, she has like a whole team of people or whatever that deal with that all that shit.
There's a reason why you need to be over 13 to have a YouTube channel. It's absurd. In short, there is absolutely no reason to do this interview besides the thrill, and every reason against it. It's bad for keffels, trans people, autistic people.
I don't think it's bad for trans people. Like, again, Keffels is also trans. Everyone knows she's trans. I wouldn't argue that, like, oh, people are gonna think that every trans person is like Chris Chan based on that single interview, because there's more than one trans person in that interview. One of them is Keffels, right? I don't think that I mean, you could argue that there's yeah, sure, there's gonna be like a non-zero amount of people that would watch a video like that and come to the conclusion that this is what autistic people are like. If you have like a large enough sample size, like, I'm sure, like, you can't assert that it's zero, right? But I don't know if it would be like a meaningful number of people. And if they come to the conclusion that this is what autistic people are like, they probably don't know anything about autistic people in the first place and would have a similar, I guess, disposition. I'm glad Christine stopped doing porn. It's cringy. Wait, Christine did porn? Child labor produces a wage for that child? Yeah, but Christina's an adult. Like, it's not like it's not a good comparison. Think of all the high-profile cases of trans people who are creeps that conservatives always reference. Tucker Carlson already aired a story about Christine. Yeah, but you can, like, acknowledge that there's, like, a small proportion of trans people that are like that, while also acknowledging that, like, this isn't most trans people, right? Like, I don't think that anyone's gonna watch that interview and then think that Christine is a perfect representative of the trans community when there's a much more reasonable trans person in the conversation, which is Keffels, right? So I don't really like the argument from, like, the standpoint of optics.
Delusional people, and Christine herself. Given all this, we are faced with a critical question. Why would Clara Sorrenti, Keffels, agree to do this? Many people have called this stupid or malicious, but I think it's simple. She is addicted to attention. This is demonstrated.
I mean, sure, I guess. She could be. I don't care if she's addicted to attention or not, though.
By how she continuously focuses on drama and goes full blast with clickbait. This explains.
Yeah, that is what a lot of YouTubers do. They do talk about drama.
Why she boldly pedo jackets and takes small dramas far too seriously. It's actually very transparent. People may say that I'm just being soy and boring, but this just reveals the pettiness of the rationale for.
I mean, that was a little bit of what goes on in the back of my mind. It's like, come on, the interview is it's a fun little interview, you know. Don't want to be the fun police now, do we? But that's not a good argument, so I didn't really bring it up.
For doing this interview. You, like Keffels, want attention, to be seen, to be heard. Who wouldn't? And you know if you had the option, you would also do it for that reason, and that's why you think I'm soy. If you condemn.
I mean, if Christine reached out to me and asked for an interview, I'd fucking do it. Are you kidding me? Like, I would just be like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, I'm not gonna reach out to her and be like, hey, can I interview you? But, you know, if she wants to interview me for whatever reason, or have me interview her, I mean, it'd be interesting. So, I don't see, like, if she were to decide to go on my show, like, I mean, the goal wouldn't be to, like, lambast her or whatever. You're being the fun police by refusing to admit to being a bottom? Nuh-uh. Hi, Queen. Hello, exclusive music is here. First person in Kick Chat. Christine contacted her. Yeah. 3 videos. Yeah, 3 videos. His old Christian self. His trans was voiced twice. Wait, what? There's a large proportion of people who acknowledge that you're a bottom. Nuh-uh. Why do optics not matter to you? Because I don't think that whether or not something is perceived to be a certain way dictates the way it actually is, right? Like optics is merely a perception, right? And a perception can be false. So I don't know. Like I don't think that it's like, yeah, okay, some people might have a false perception of something, right? But I think that as long as you make it, like, as long as you're not, like, actively pushing that perception, which I don't think Keffels was doing, like, I don't see the issue. It's like, yeah, any insane person can come to any conclusion from any video, right? It's like, yeah, you can come to the conclusion that I don't know, that you haven't showered in 2 weeks because actually if you look at the background you can see how messy everything is, and those are the clothes that you never wash and that you just keep re-wearing 10 times in a row because you don't want to wash them. It's like, yeah, I can come to all sorts of crazy conclusions, but like feel like it's like yeah, you could avoid that by you know, putting the clothes in the drawer, cleaning up a little bit, but like why would you, right? It's not that big of a deal. Sure, some unhinged person might care, but if it is perceived that can form action can harm your utilitarian, right? Well, yeah, but I don't think that there is going to be much action that's taken as a result of Keffels doing the interview. Like, I'd need to see some sort of evidence that the interview has caused action to be taken, right? I just don't see any evidence of that. Like, it just seems like an interview where 2 people talk to each other, and one of the people just so happens to be Chris Chan. The stakes are different when it comes to my organization or lack thereof. Yeah, but I think that the stakes of doing an interview are, I mean, they're going to be higher if it's an interview like that. But then it's just, I feel like as long as you don't, like, mess up the interview, I feel like it's fine, right? If you do the interview right.
Condemn her for this, you'd feel cognitive dissonance, and that feels icky and bad. So your brain just ignores all those reasons that this is a bad call from Keffels to spare your feelings. In online spaces such as commentary YouTube,
yeah, but I think it can be like a useful discussion, right? Like a discussion about like how people will often go out and target people that are easy targets, right? Like, I think that's like a useful discourse to have, and I think that interviewing Chris Chan is like a good place to sort of springboard that discourse. You misunderstood my first point. What was your first point? Stakes of this room are high because you have a 100% chance of being exposed as a bottom. Nuh-uh. No, I don't. But yeah, anyways. I don't know. I just don't think it's a big deal. It just seems like a nothing burger to me. It's like whatever. Like if we actually go onto Keffels' channel, right? And how long ago was the interview? 8 days ago? Called Chris Chan Has Returned. We can watch the interview. And see if it's if there's like anything specifically harmful. Because, you know, I watched the interview. I thought it was entertaining. You know, I didn't really see an issue with it. Like, I think that people should be able to interview interesting figures that exist in online spaces. Like, it was a good faith interview, and yeah, I don't know. It's yeah.
If they were to write a book about the history of the internet, Christine Weston Chandler, better known online under the name Chris Chan, would probably have several chapters dedicated to them. Known as the most
I mean, she does have an entire, what is it, 85-part series documentary series dedicated to her so far. I am not anti-interview generally, lol. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't know. I just don't see the issue.
Documented person online, there's no shortage of information about her. Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History, is now at part 82, extensively documenting her entire life. The reasons for this obsession with Christine are far too complex for me to address here, but let's just say that she is not known primarily for positive reasons. People are in fact so obsessed with her that before I could even upload this video, I was given my own entry on the Sonichu wiki, which I have printed off and hung on my wall to show off like a trophy.
Yeah, I would be proud of that too.
If you want to know more about Christine and the controversy surrounding her, I would recommend a 2-part podcast series done by Behind the Bastards entitled A Terrible Story About the Internet.
Personally, I would just recommend the Geno Samuel documentary series if you have the time for it. I'm sorry, it's just too entertaining. It's just too entertaining.
On August 2nd, 2021, Christine was released from Central Virginia Regional Jail.
Well, I will say that the later episodes are just sad and depressing to watch. The earlier episodes are actually quite entertaining, though. Like, the early trolling stuff was actually really funny. It's just like the later stuff. You have to keep in mind that Christine was like extremely homophobic back then. Super racist and transphobic, and was, I guess, one of the first incels to be documented on the internet. And yeah, I think that a lot of the early trolling stuff was good. I mean, there was some bad stuff, but a lot of the early stuff, like the Liquid Chris stuff, was incredibly funny. You know, like a lot of people back then would troll Chris Chan by, like, whatever, quote, pretending to be friends with her, or whatever, but they'd take it so far that, like, Christine just ended up having a good time, and that was the joke, I guess. It was like, it was so much less hostile, I guess. I don't know. Like, a lot of the trolling didn't even, like, negatively impact her. It was just, like, funny shit. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to watch this series.
After charges were pressed against her for raping her mother. The charges were dropped on March 27, 2023, and Christine has remained relatively low profile since. During her time in jail, a campaign I organized to get Cloudflare to drop the website Kiwi Farms as a customer succeeded, and this caught the attention of Christine, who was aware that many years ago, Kiwi Farms would go by another name, the Quickie Forums. A few months ago, Christine reached out to me asking to come onto my channel and have a conversation with me. I do not believe Christine is a completely innocent victim, nor do I believe she is an entirely evil and reprehensible person.
So right off the bat, there we go. Introducing nuance into the discussion. Are you gonna address the allegations of you being hot, Femyoz? Maybe. This is just kind of absurd to me, how you don't care about manipulating a mentally disabled person. Most offline people would see that as wrong. Okay, to be fair, Christine, okay, when Christine first became a lolcow, she was, like, extremely far right. So I think it's okay if it's, like, a right winger, right? Because it's just a way of I think it serves utility in making people that are far right look retarded. you know, it was like one of the main things that was made fun of back in the day was her rampant homophobia. And there was just something beautiful about that. It's like you know, edgy teenagers were accidentally being allies. Address it in my DMs after stream, buddy. Okay. There's no way Femyoz can deny that she's. I'm really not. I'm sorry. Who cares? She is also incompetent, and you don't need to do shit to make her look retarded. That's just how she looks and acts. Okay. I'm not saying that, like, it's good to troll her now. Like, people went way too far, and it's like, she's not, like, a far-right loser anymore. She's just, like, delusional instead. I mean, not that they're far off from each other, but, it's, like, a different kind of delusion that isn't, like, malicious, right? Whereas if you're extremely hateful and bigoted towards minority groups, like, I don't care if you're disabled, like, I'm gonna make fun of you. You know, I'm gonna treat you equally. I'm gonna treat you the same way I would treat any other homophobe. You know, I think that easy targets like Chris Chan back when she was far right should be made into the faces of the right, you know? I think it might move some people over.
She has done terrible things and has had terrible things done to her. My interest in this conversation came from a place of wanting to understand her, and not mock or belittle her.
Would you treat a racist child like that? Is it okay to manipulate a child who is conservative? Yeah, absolutely. Like if there's like a child that thinks it's disgusting that I exist because I'm trans, like, yeah, I think that bullying them is perfectly fair game. Like, I think that they should be mocked and ridiculed. Like, I'm not like the kind of person that's gonna morally grandstand and be like, oh, it's never okay to bully children. It's like, okay, the way that Leafy did it was kind of bad because, like, he would just find, like, random people that weren't doing anything wrong. But, like, I don't know, like, I think if they're, like, saying that they hate queer people, like, I think it's fair game. I think you should be able to bully them.
As that is already overabundant on this platform. The following video is the conversation that took place. So I know when I put this interview up, like, a lot of the people who are going to watch this already know who you are.
There's a difference between using shame and manipulation and pointless bullying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't usually like to manipulate somebody unless they're, like, an extremely vile person. So, like, somebody like Jalen's ex Lilith, I would be okay with manipulating. But yeah, no, usually I'll just bully somebody if they're a bad person. If someone bullies you first, I think you have the right to push back against it. Parents shame their children to teach them morals. They don't bully their own children, though. Well, I'm not their fucking parents, right? It's not my responsibility. When someone tells you to unalive yourself or threatens to harm you, then everything is fair game. Yeah, or if they think that, like, or if they just say some, like, transphobic shit to me, like, I think that, like, everything is fair game at that point. It's like, you're a bad person. What do you expect? Like, I'm not gonna, like, give you special treatment because you're younger than me. Like, no, fuck off. Like, if you're a transphobic piece of shit, like, I'm gonna clown on you. I'm gonna bully you. And yeah, like, you're not immune to that. Pie Girl was racist. Yeah, but she's not anymore. Right? So that's why I'm cool with Pie Girl. Right? I think that back when she was racist, I think it was fair game to make fun of her. I do have an issue with things like making false PDF file accusations though. Right? So even if it's like directed against a bad person, like I still think that that crosses a certain line. But no, generally I think that bullying bad people is perfectly valid. I've had transphobic comments directed at me in my videos, and I'm not even trans. Yet people said transphobic shit about me before I came out. I'm like, what the I'm not even out as trans yet. I didn't even think I was trans. I was just a femboy. I don't think it's productive to bully a child or any other incompetent person. Well, if the incompetent person is a bad person, I think it's valid. Like, what about somebody like Cyrax, who is definitely an incompetent person, but also he sent nudes to somebody that he thought was 14 in his 30s, and this is something that he's admitted to doing multiple times. Like, I think it's perfectly valid to bully somebody like that, right? Like, I think if you're a bad person, it's I think bullying is fair game. Like, you have to keep in mind that like transphobes are at a mental disadvantage more often than not, right? Like, they're gonna be dumber on average, right? Call them out, let the community know. See, but like doing it in like a way that's like morally grandstandy is just not gonna. I mean, there's a time and a place for that. That's just not my thing. You know, I'd rather do it in a way that's fun, that people want to join in on because it's fun. You know, I don't want to do it in like a boring. How does this vibe with your utilitarian ethics? Because it makes being transphobic uncool, right? It makes it cringe. So it decreases the amount of people that would want to do that, right? So it deters them because people will inevitably make this association in their head between being transphobic and getting bullied, right? That's a good thing, right? You want there to be that association. You want being transphobic to be seen as cringe and uncool. And whereas you know, being like, whereas somebody like me is based and edgy and just doesn't give a shit, right? Yeah, shame the child, don't mess with them just to get a laugh. Okay, well, I think that there's like a certain extent to which you could like quote unquote mess with them, right? Like, you can do a little bit of trolling. Like, I don't think there's like an issue with that. Now, if you're like constantly like targeting one child, like you're just spending your like every day like talking about this person or whatever, or messing with them, and it's like over like one transphobic comment they made a year ago, it's like, okay, that might be like a little bit too much, right? You can even do that with competent people. Oh yeah, like I don't discriminate, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're it doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you're a bad person, I will make fun of you. Now, generally, I think that like the way that I do it, if you do that, it negates the positive effects of shame. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's gonna depend on like how much do they perpetuate transphobic shit, right? Like, if somebody makes one transphobic comment, I'm just gonna make one comment back making fun of them, right? So that would be that would fall under the category of shame, right? But if somebody is like relentless, all they talk about is how much they hate trans people, right? And they're like super like over the top. Kind of like how Chris Chan was about gay people, right? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna maybe put in the extra time and effort to make sure that like you get bullied. You know, the same way that like you know, I'm not just gonna shame Lilith, who's Jalen's ex, right? Like, you know, I've been like constantly like mocking and ridiculing her on Twitter for like a week because she's like a genuinely vile and evil person. Because how do they know what act they did that was wrong? Oh, no. You have to keep in mind that I think there's a difference between like somebody not realizing that they're doing something wrong versus like somebody being a malicious actor, right? I think there's like a difference there. I think that you can be an incompetent individual and still be a malicious actor. You're just not going to be as good at fulfilling your malicious desires if that's the case. It doesn't mean that the malicious desires can't exist. It's usually pretty obvious too. I'm watching Two Bottoms debate in the stream. If you really want, I can call in. Yeah, sure, go for it. But before you call in, I'm gonna read a message that was sent by Haha Yeah. So here's what he said. Sorry for doing a leaker lyrics moment, but I'm sure that but I don't think this is like anything that he would care. I mean, it's the first thing he DM'd me. Yeah. Anyways, Haha Yeah DM'd me saying, "Hi Femyoz, seen a little bit of both of the streams you did, and there are a few points I saw that I thought were fair enough, and a lot I thought weren't. If you'd be interested in doing a debate, I'm free tomorrow night, although it'd be easier if it was a bit earlier than you usually stream, if that's possible. I'm happy for you to stream that on your channel. If you're happy to stream on mine, let's go. We can both stream. Let's go. Don't want to pull anyone in. I just want to have a genuine conversation because there are a few points I would really like to talk about. Genuinely don't think you have bad intentions or anything. I'll fully admit I worded some things in that video very poorly. And with the pie girl response muddying the waters a bit, I feel like a lot of my actual points got lost. Let's go! We've got a debate with Haha Yeah tomorrow! And based on how the Spinling debate went, I'm fairly confident. Don't want to get cocky, though. Femyoz booba reveal. I'm not doing a booba reveal. Just because there's a boob window doesn't mean you actually get to see my boobs. You see part of them a little bit. But yeah, anyways, let's go. Anyways, Lord Pasta. Greetings and salutations, Lord Pasta Productions.
Hey,
Hello.
so I disagree with, I think we disagree on a lot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so I guess just the first thing that comes to my mind, because we were just talking about it, like, you're aware that the people who were trolling Chris Chan back in the day, they weren't doing that specifically to like shame them because they were, you know, transphobic, homophobic, all these things.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. That wasn't their intention.
Right, so how can we like leverage the positive effects of shame and bullying, right? When there's not even like I'm bullying you for this, I'm shaming you for this. There's not even like a teaching moment there, right? How can we appeal to that?
So I think there are going to be instances in which the goal of it isn't necessarily to teach the person you're bullying. Rather, it's to teach everybody that witnesses it that, oh yeah, transphobia is cringe and you'll get bullied for it.
Yeah, but that's not why they were doing it. We just covered that.
I'm not saying that that's why they're doing it. I'm saying that that could potentially be the
Right,
outcome, right?
I agree, right? In a debate, you know, if I make fun of the opponent, like that's doing something to the audience. But they weren't making fun of an opponent in a debate because they were, you know, transphobic, homophobic, all that stuff. They were making fun of them because they were a funny individual. They were taking advantage of them because they could. For
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, no, I agree that that would be the intention there. However, I also believe that if this individual that's being made into a joke is clearly right wing, there's going to be like an association there that gets made.
Why? I mean, how can you argue that
because
that's
one of the
case
one of the
here?
main things that was used back in the day to bully Christine with was like the fact that she was like extremely homophobic. Like that was one of the main things that was used to bully her.
Okay, well, I mean, I can give you that case in those instances, but a lot of the instances were just manipulation for the sake of
Oh,
manipulation.
I'm not defending all of the early trolling. Like for instance, the blue spike stuff, which if you don't know, long story short, it ultimately ended in Christine recording herself shoving her Sonichu medallion up her ass to get her PlayStation account back. I think that was fucked up. Like, I don't think that should have.
Yeah, right. So,
I don't
so
think
this is what you're trying to defend, just for the audience, right? That's what you're trying to defend. And
I'm
you
saying that was
concede-
I'm saying that kind of trolling is fucked up and that you shouldn't do that, right?
Okay.
I think
well,
that that not all trolling is equal. I think that the Liquid Chris stuff is very good. I think that the blue spike stuff and the idea guys stuff is bad, right? Like I don't think that all trolling is equal.
Right, but then you can't sort of appeal to this, oh well, you know, these people over here made fun of them because they're homophobic as, you know, a panacea for the issue, right?
Wait,
You
I'm
can't like
saying
appeal to that and say that, oh well, you know, now taking advantage, that's okay, you know. Or saying only some things that are specifically shaming them for these bad behaviors, those are
I think
okay, but they can't be a panacea.
certain. Well, I think that there's a like a certain extent to which you can you know, bully somebody or fuck with them, right? That I think is like acceptable, right?
Sure.
I think that there's like a certain point where it's like, yeah, like this doesn't really serve any utility. Like I don't think any utility was served by convincing Christine to shove the Sonichu medallion up her ass, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think that
think
was
that's
beneficial at all, right? Like
Would you be
something
willing to
like,
say that's bad? Would you say
yeah,
that's bad?
obviously the
Okay.
blue spikes. Most people that like that are obsessed with trolling Chris Chan or whatever agree that was bad. Like
Okay.
even back then people were like, yeah, this is fucking messed up. Like you shouldn't have done this.
Okay. So given that you accept that that's bad, right?
Yeah.
Do you also accept what I think is blatantly obvious, that bringing more attention to this individual increases the chances in the future for something like that to happen again? I think it's pretty straightforward, right?
I mean, it could, but I don't think that it increases the chances enough to the extent where it would be, where it would outweigh the potential good that comes from the interview. I mean, you have to keep in
Okay,
mind
wait.
that Christine makes money from doing shit on the internet now. Like this is her
Okay,
main
yeah.
source of income.
People can be manipulated and they can make money. But like I don't see
But this
how
is
what you're
this is what
saying is
she this
speaking.
is what she does for a living, right? So if this is what she does for a living, like she relies on this. That doesn't mean it's good that she relies on this or that this is necessarily healthy. But
I want to speak to what you said before, right? Because I don't think that anyone should be satisfied with what you said before. Um, there are things that happen in the past that give us reason to believe that things will be more likely, right? So, for example, if we have an individual who's clearly incompetent, who has around them a group of people, a popularity who like to mess with them, who like to manipulate them, who have manipulated them in ways that you yourself have said are bad, we can say that it is therefore more likely that if this person remains in the public eye, if this person has more eyes, put on them, there is a higher risk of that happening again. I think that's completely
Um,
rational.
yeah,
Anyone
but you
can
have to
see that
keep in
that's
mind that
completely
like
rational.
yeah, you have to keep in mind that like Keffel's audience isn't like Keffel's isn't really like known for like lol cow stuff, right? So Keffel's audience isn't gonna be like it's primarily gonna consist of people that aren't gonna do that kind of shit,
Sure.
right? It's gonna consist of, so what you have is you have people that aren't really lol cow farmers, um, who might just whatever find people like Christine interesting, right? Like, so for instance, like I think that she's an interesting person, right? But I'm not somebody that really would want to go out and like troll her or whatever, right? I just think she's an interesting individual, right? There could be a lot of people that decide to start watching Christine's streams to see what she's doing, and hey, maybe they end up donating a few dollars. And at the end of the day, like that, there are going to be a lot more people like that coming from Keffel's audience than people that are lol cow farmers, right? Like Keffel's isn't like
Okay.
isn't really known for lol cow farming. That's not her thing.
Yeah, I never said that that was her thing or made any implication about that. But you would agree that if I were to interview you and upload an interview of you on my YouTube channel, I would be promoting you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would be more popular because of that.
Correct. That would be a good thing.
And the
That would be a
way
benefit.
that, yes, in this instance, but there would be a greater chance because of the way that the algorithm works on YouTube and other social media platforms, for more, people who are completely unrelated to either of our communities, to see you and understand who you are, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a net positive. I mean, you're
Right.
you're
So,
describing
okay, yes,
something
but
great.
right, but in the
But this is
context of an
exactly this is my point though. Is you're just promoting me in a positive way.
yes, but it, you appealed, or I'm speaking directly to what you said. You appealed to the fact that Keffel's audience is wholesome, right?
Mm.
But in the same sense, that me, making a video about you and putting it out there brings eyes that aren't, just in my community, but are outside of my community, uh, towards you and to me. Um, the same can be said for what Keffels did, right?
Um, I guess. However, you have to keep in mind that in terms of like if people outside of Keffel's community get recommended the Keffel's video, if their first impression of Christine is Keffel's video, like that's gonna be a lot better than if they find out about Christine elsewhere, right?
Yeah, but we're just arguing on the margins now. It's still the case that you've conceded more eyes will be on her.
I
This
don't think that
and
more eyes
it's
is
pretty
necessarily
rational that
I don't think that more eyes is necessarily a bad thing, right? Like if this is her main source of income, right? Like that's just gonna contribute to that, right? Like she's just gonna get more money.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, so
she's
that sounds like a
making
good
money,
thing.
but she's still getting manipulated by people, and
Yeah, for
I
money.
don't know, like
So she doesn't fucking
for
die.
money.
Like, well, the alternative is that she goes broke. Like
Yeah, I mean, Keffels could have just given her money. I'm sure
okay,
that
that
like
it would
what
have
the
been, yes, I
100K that she
agree.
supposedly has, right?
I agree that it would be preferable if Keffels were to pay Christine on 100K to leave the internet for a year. However, um,
Yeah,
she
go
didn't
take
do.
a vacation in Ireland.
Yeah, go take a vacation in Ireland. Yeah, or maybe they could go on vacation together. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Christine
That would be
Christine
preferable, right?
yeah,
But
Christine
why are
and
you so
Clara.
willing? So you're willing to say that, Christine taking a vacation and going offline for like a few years, like that's
Because she would
preferable. But
have the
why?
financial because she
Why
would
do
have
you
the
say that that's
financial she would
preferable?
have the financial resources to do so.
So
That's the
not
difference.
because she's away from the internet and people manipulating her,
Well,
and
it's
that
because
possibility.
she wouldn't need that as her source of income.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's also
if her source of income is she gets the money for free from Keffels, that is preferable to her having to deal with trolls on the internet for money, right? However, if no matter what, she's not getting a free $100,000 giveaway from Keffels, I think it's preferable if she has some sort of income, even if she has to deal with trolls, than just leaving the internet and going broke, right?
Well, I mean, there might be like social services that she has access to not die, I'd think. Right? You said she
Well,
has like a
I think
team, right?
yes, but that team is helping her sustain herself and make a living for herself, right? Like they can't just like single-handedly like like constantly like financially, like I don't know what their financial situation is, but like they can't just like give money away to like this one like I mean I guess maybe they could, but it's better if Christine is able to like actually sustain herself, like unless these people are like extremely rich, in which case it's like okay, maybe it'd be better if they just gave them money, right? Maybe that would serve more utility, but they don't have the
Yeah,
financial
right.
resources to do that most likely, but they do have the time maybe and the intellectual capacity to help Christine make money on her own, right? And that would be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot about money, but I don't really see like the relevancy of talking about the money situation. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
Christine has
obviously it
never
will be
had the
good
best
if,
money situation, so
yeah,
I think that being able
I,
to so I think being able to um capitalize off of internet fame rather than being broke, I think that that's preferable. I
right, I
think
mean,
that
if we took like a child and like some other incompetent person and have them work in a coal mine, like that'd be better than them dying. But I don't think that that's an excuse for exploitation. If you're
I don't
saying that it's good because she's making money, that oh well, there's a high likelihood that people will manipulate her to shove random objects up her ass.
Okay, you
That's
have to keep
okay.
in mind
Making
she
money. I mean,
has a
this is
team of
just
people that would stop her from doing that though, right? Like you would agree that it's way less likely to happen now because she has like a team of people. Like there's going to be like some sort of like when it comes to like direct communication with Christine, there's going to be like a little bit more of a barrier now, right? Like it's not like it was before where you could just like be any old fart on the internet, right? And um who and talk to Christine. Like you'd have to go through her team basically, and they'd have to like make sure you're not
okay.
like a troll.
Right. I mean, I can concede that, it'd be more difficult with a team and all that stuff, of course.
Hmm.
But I do still think that like if they're allowing her to go and do these interviews and stuff, like I don't know,
With Keffels, I mean
and
Keffels is a
they're
fairly like for like all things considered, like Keffels is going to be fairly normal in like an interview. Like she's not like trying to shit on Christine. Like it's obvious that that's not her goal, right? Um, Now you could say her goal is to get good content, maybe, but like her goal clearly wasn't to like make Christine look bad, right? Like that wasn't, at least as far as the video goes, right? I mean, I can't read Keffel's mind, but yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, like if you're their team, like if you're a part of the Christine Weston Chandler team, like you're probably gonna be like, okay, yeah, interview with Keffels is okay. Keffels isn't gonna ask like
mm,
dumb questions. Interview with random chud shitter 69
yeah.
maybe not. Maybe we don't do that, right?
Hmm. Well, maybe I can concede then that aspect. Although I do still would worry about that type of thing in the future, because there's no way that they can monitor like all the interactions that she's having.
I
Uh,
mean, I guess, but at the same time, like personally, I've engaged, like in general, like on the internet, like I've engaged in a good amount of trolling, but I don't even know if I would where I would even start. Like if I wanted to troll Chris Chan, I don't even know if I'd be able to do that at this point because it's like it would just not be. She's not like easily accessible.
hmm.
You can't just like reach out to her and then she'll respond.
Can I
Like
just
that.
ask, do you know the extent of what these carers are doing, like how they manage her social media and that stuff? Like, do you know the extent of that?
I don't know all of the details. I just know that she has like a team of people that sort of manage stuff for her. And that's like
So,
it seems to be the case that they're probably going to be managing her social media, her DMs, emails, stuff like that to an extent.
to an extent, right? So
At
you
least
don't actually know
I
that.
don't know what the extent is, but it seems to be the case that like they're going to be managing like all of like the
Yeah,
all
what
of
are you
that kind of
basing that
stuff.
on? Because
Um
I haven't seen this, right? And you're saying you
I'm basing it
have.
on the fact that she has like a team of people that are helping her out, and I feel like those would be the things that like a team trying to help somebody out would do, right? Because they're going to be able to detect who is and isn't a troll a lot more easily, right? Than
Well, yeah, a
Christine.
competent person is going to be able to understand that.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
And when was the last time Christine got trolled? Like like on like a like more than like not as in like a oh she got slightly angry over a donation message in this one stream one time or something like that, but
I
like as in
mean,
like an actual like troll, right? Like it's
I
been a
wouldn't know the
while, right?
exact date, but like I know that
It's
there
been
are
a
like all
while.
kinds
It's
of.
been a while. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, it's been a while.
Okay.
She's not been trolled on by any meaningful at any meaningful capacity, right? I think that goes to show that like she's not the one doing all of the heavy lifting here, right?
Hmm.
If she was reading all of her DMs and all of her emails, somebody would have trolled her by now and that would be out there, right? Now, I don't keep up on all of the Chris Chan lore, but I do sort of keep up to date on a lot of it, and it doesn't seem like anyone has been able to troll her at all.
Hmm. Well, I mean, she was in jail for a bit recently,
Yeah,
kind of like not
but after
public.
I mean she's been out of jail since over 2 months ago, so it's been over 2 months.
I
It
mean,
seems.
that's not a long time. I guess I'm willing to concede a little bit in this respect that, maybe with her having carers now, it'll be more difficult to like troll her in a manner that is very profound,
Yeah,
right? I'll concede
exactly.
that to you. But I think there are other ways that, people might take advantage of her, like maybe emotionally and stuff like that, that I think that reasonable people would agree, is still not a positive.
Yeah,
So
but
I
it's a lot
think,
harder to do that if again if there are barriers to entry when it comes to interacting with Christine. Like that's not going to be as easy as you would think, right? Like it would have to be
yeah,
somebody
I'm
that
conceding that.
like
I'm conceding.
yeah, you have to realize that like it seems like Christine has like a girlfriend like in real life. Like it seems like she's doing a lot better. I guess at least for Chris Chan standards, than than she was before. Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
Also,
so
I think my
I'll
cat's trying to
concede.
leave. One sec. Anyways, you were saying?
Yeah, I concede a little bit on my last point about exploitation, and to be honest, it was the weakest point. It was the last point that I made for a reason. But I think that the first two are just kind of like it'd be very difficult to argue against them. Um, like Chris Chan is horrible representation for the marginalized communities that she's a part of. Like that's just almost it's almost like trivially the case that that's true. Like it's almost like you'd be absurd to deny that.
Yeah,
And
you have to keep in mind that Keffels is part of these groups as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about Keffels, but I think she said she has autism. I'm not sure. I think she
yeah,
does. Yeah, so it's like so you have two people that both are a part of these communities. So
but she's not visibly autistic though,
yeah, but I think it's
right? Like
fairly
people
well
aren't gonna like.
known. But people know that she's autistic, right? Like people know that.
First of all, she claims to be, right?
Well,
It's one of
I
those
have no reason to
self-diagnosed
not believe
people.
her. I have no
I don't
reason
I
to
don't
not
either.
believe
I'm
her.
not I'm not like casting doubt. I'm just saying like she's not actually diagnosed with it. But, I'm willing to accept that she is. Uh
Okay.
I I just don't I just don't see it like you're saying, okay, well, yes, we've got this person who's like a caricature of all of this, who's, you know, it's been known for ages. A lot of people make the association between, Chris Chan and autism directly and stuff like that. And then we have someone else there who, maybe in a passive sense represents that, but doesn't bring that to the forefront at all. Uh, I don't know. I think that I think it's pretty clear that there's still going to be some like damage there.
So
It's like
do you think
it,
that that Christine should be able to exist in public life?
Um, I mean, I think she should be able to go out in public to the store and like, engage in domestic things like
Do you
that.
think
Yes.
she should be able to like talk to people and engage with people and whatnot? Or is
Yeah, I
that
mean, if monitored by, caretakers probably,
yeah,
then sure.
but wouldn't she be a bad representation of the autistic community? Wouldn't she be increasing the likelihood of the people she's interacting with thinking that this is representative of all autistic people? So wouldn't that
Well,
actually decrease utility?
the difference there is that she's going to be going out to do domestic tasks, and that's going to be necessary for like, her basic needs and stuff like that, and also social needs. Right? We're talking about here a production of media that's made public and
Yeah,
presented to
a
the
production
world.
of media that's like her main source of income, right? So this is
Well,
also a
why are we
need
going back to the income point? What relevancy does
because
that have with
you
anything?
used because you asserted that the symmetry breaker is that well this is a basic need. Well, so is her income. Her income is also a basic need. So you can't use that as a symmetry breaker.
I I don't know what services she has access to, right? We don't actually know that she needs to be, putting herself on these live streams and whatnot. Like, we don't actually know that, right? But procuring like food, maybe that's like something that's necessary. Going outside is probably something that's healthy, right?
Well, and it doesn't even seem like it doesn't seem like she's as terminally online as she used to be. Like she's not like constantly online from what I can tell. So it seems like she does go outside to some extent. I mean, really weird people on the internet have like whatever spotted her in public, which is people are fucking weird. I hate that. Like taking a picture of somebody like Christine, like because you spot them in public, like as if you just spotted fucking Bigfoot. Like, that's just weird to me. I don't like that. But yeah, I do think she goes outside as well. So I think she has like
Mm.
at least for Christine's standards, a very healthy balance at this point, especially compared
Yeah,
to like what it used to be. Like I'd say that
but I
she probably goes outside more than I do at this fucking point. Like
that's
I'm
true. Me too. Me too. But I think we're missing the point of what I'm getting at when I say bad representation. It's
Okay.
not bad representation because she is profoundly disabled in a more profound way, like, you know, maybe lower IQ or whatever. It's that, you know, she's a rapist, okay, most likely. It's that she's done these horrible things, right? And that's what sets her apart from like other people who are going to be, you know, going out in public and doing all this stuff while being like, you know, more severely autistic or whatever, right?
Sure.
So I think,
Yeah, but like I think that like Keffel's like at the very start of the video immediately addresses that, right? And says, yeah, I mean, she's done some terrible things. Terrible things have been done to her. It is what it is, and I think that that because she addressed that, I think that it's like I think it's like a fair.
yeah, I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
Imagine
I
this.
I don't think that I don't think that any reasonable person is going to watch that interview and then come to the conclusion that because Christine has autism and because she raped somebody, that means that autistic people are all rapists.
Oh,
right?
but they already
Like,
think that. People already do think that, though.
Who? Wait, how?
A lot. There are these perceptions out there.
Of?
They exist of autistic people, of trans people, you know,
Of
even
trans
of
people?
like gay
Of trans
people.
people, yes. But you have to keep in mind, Keffels is known for being trans, and I think she even states that she's trans in the interview, so it's not like a new viewer wouldn't know that. So I don't think that anyone's gonna look at Keffels and think, yeah, that right there, that looks like a rapist. That is the face of a fucking rapist, you know? Like, I don't think that that's gonna happen, right?
Well, I mean, you can say that you don't think that that's going to happen, but it does happen.
I don't
You know,
think that
it's the
there's any
basis for a large,
yeah, but that's
like,
not like
conservative
a
movement to
yeah, but at that point
fearmonger
they're gonna
about
see
trans people,
okay, yeah, but that
right?
they're
Not
gonna see
happening?
any trans people that way, like right, like I'm talking about like any reasonable person, right? Because if we
Okay.
include unreasonable people into the equation, it's like yeah, they're gonna come to any conclusion if it fits their narrative,
Right, but
right?
when we're talking about doing what's right, right? Presumably, you know, you're a utilitarian. What's right is to reduce
Correct.
harm, right? And
Correct.
that's judged based on the consequences of whatever. If we understand that, you know, there are a large amount of people who are going to make these assumptions, like that's going to matter,
Wait,
right? Because
wait,
that's going
large
to
amount
affect
of
their
people. So
actions.
you think that there's going to be a large amount of people that watch the Keffels interview that make the assumption that all autistic people are rapists because Chris Chan is a rapist who also has autism? Like that, like again,
Well,
most people are not that unreasonable, right? Like I don't think
first
that the
first
average
of all,
person is that
there are a
unreasonable.
lot of unreasonable people in the world, but I can concede to you that it's not going to be a majority of people.
It's
But
going to be the
even if
vast, vast,
marginally,
vast minority, right?
even if
I
it
think it's
is,
going to be
even,
such a minority of people that come to that conclusion where they're already going to have some sort of bias against autistic people, right? So like
a lot of people do, though.
yeah, so
Right?
the vast minority of people that do come to that conclusion have already come to a very similar conclusion in the first place, right? So it's not really going to do that much to change their worldview, right? Like it might slightly reaffirm their worldview if they just see Chris Chan on screen and they're like, "Yep, that's autism right there, perfect representation," right? But I think at that point, like I don't think that Keffels is personally responsible for them being unreasonable, right?
She's not responsible for them being unreasonable, but she's responsible for her actions, which have consequences because of the unreasonability of people. But let me just build a scenario for you because I want to hear your take on this. Let's
Sure.
imagine that, you know, it's some time ago when, you know, people are hating on gay people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this prominent, like, gay individual in media who decides to interview a prolific, like, gay rapist. Okay. And they yes, they qualify the interview with like this person is you know, is bad, you know, but also they're misunderstood a little bit
The
and blah,
person
blah, blah.
conducting the interview is also openly gay, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay,
These are
good.
both
They're
homosexuals.
both gay. Okay, good.
Right. So, like, do you not see that that is a negative? Right. Like, why is that happening? Like, why is this person platforming this individual?
Because I think that you can acknowledge that there are some gay people that do something wrong as a gay person and say, yeah, I disavow this. This doesn't, like, represent us. But, I want to hear what this person has to say. I think that they've done horrible things have been done to them, and then I guess going from there.
Okay, so you just don't see that as bad. You just accept that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think doing that when, you know, we know that, you know, back in the day there was this perception, you know, of homosexuals, you know, as being uncontrollable and all that stuff. I think that's irresponsible. I think it's clear that that would, you know, contribute to a popular perception that exists, and that you're contributing to it if you do it, even if you yourself are homosexual. I don't know why you yourself being a homosexual, to contrast with the bad homosexual, would negate what you're doing. I don't have any reason. Like, why would that do anything?
I mean, if we're talking about optics, then, you know, like, that's the one instance in which it would matter, right? Because that would be like an entirely optics-based argument, right? Now, personally, I don't even care about optics as much as you, obviously. I'm of the belief that I don't need to please or satisfy or make sure that somebody who is a far-right conservative lunatic doesn't get the wrong impression or whatever, right? Like, I'm not constantly thinking, oh, will a fucking Nazi take this the wrong way, right? I don't care if a Nazi watches my content and takes it the wrong way. Like, my target audience isn't Nazis, right? So...
Right. I mean, I even state myself, it's not like a huge thing, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it might be even worse that, for example, Keffels is not disclosing what the 100K was used for or is being used for, and is like getting really mad. That might be worse, right? But I feel like if you have this,
absolutely it is, right?
well, I mean, maybe, right? I'm kind of unsure, but my point is just that I feel like if you're taking this position that, you know, I'm just not going to care about optics because that's holding me back or whatever, and I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about all these externalities.
Yeah.
You know,
Big waste of time.
maybe you should be looking into a different, you know, ethical view than utilitarianism or some form of consequentialism, because right, that is going to matter, because
utilitarianism for the most part is something that I use on more of like a macro level when making assessments of things like policy positions, wider when I'm talking about something on like a much larger scale, right? Like interpersonally, like it gets so convoluted and complex to a point where it's like you can't always think about it, right? Now my intuition is generally going to whatever be like in my day-to-day life, right? Like I'm not going to be constantly thinking like, oh, if I, you know, drive in this lane and in the left lane here, will this maximize utility by allowing this person who has this percentage of a chance of needing to get to where they're going faster than... It's like, it's not worth thinking about, right? Like,
well,
I think it gets
do you
to a
have
point
reason
where...
to believe that, though? That's the question. Do you have reason to believe that that's the case?
Because it's draining, and at that point, it's just...
Well, talking about your example. Your example. You have reason to believe that it will...
Well, I believe it would do me more harm than good to the outside world. That's my personal opinion. Like, I think if you do it to an unhealthy extent, I think it's like a good thing to like think about sometimes, and to like just generally assess your own behavior and whatnot, in that sort of lens. but like in your day-to-day life you might not always be thinking about it, right? And I think that's like a fine thing. Like I think it's more of like a thing to think
Sure.
about in like a retrospective slash
Yeah, I mean,
here's
you
like the general direction. Like I would say that I'm a lot nicer of a person than I used to be, and one of the reasons is because of the ethical framework I use, right? Because I look at things retrospectively, and I'm like, I look back at some stuff that I've said or done, and I'm like, yeah, that was kind of shitty. I didn't need to do that. Like that didn't benefit anybody,
yeah.
right? That was that minimized utility in this situation, if anything, right?
Okay, but
But
when you do that, right, you're still looking back and you're saying that was bad,
mhm,
right? And it's completely conceivable that a person can be doing a bunch of bad things. Right. My point was just to say, like, oh, well, you have this like you're driving on whatever lane, which lane maximizes utility. Well, my objection there to what you're, I guess, trying to do or say is that you don't have reason to believe that any lane is going to be giving more utility, right? So if you have no reason to believe that either lane has more utility, then, you know, just drive wherever you want to drive then, right? But
I
in the
guess so.
case where you're saying that, you've done all these bad things, well, you still concede that they're bad things. They're things that you shouldn't have done. So why doesn't the same thing apply to optics, right? You can just say, well, I don't care about optics, but I should, right? And then just continue to not care and be a bad person. You could do that.
I mean, I guess I could do that. I generally believe that if everybody is hyper fixated on optics, it becomes something that's valued more than it ought to be, right? It becomes something that's because optics is literally just like a fixation on your external appearance, the way you appear to the outside world, right? Rather than the actual morality of your actions. I think that optics should be looked at sometimes, but I don't think that you should make too many moral judgments based on optics or factored in too much, if that makes sense, right? I think it's just something
Yeah.
to look at in terms of like am I effective in terms of like my rhetoric in like an optical sense, or like is this like something that looks good and will therefore allow more people to view me in this light, which means that they're more likely to agree with my opinions, which ultimately maximizes utility because my opinions are less harmful than the opinions that they would otherwise have. But
Yeah.
like that's the I
I
guess the use, like that's the way I use optics generally, but that's about it. It's like
Yeah, but I mean, you're just saying that people, idolize optics, people fixate on optics. Okay, it's bad to overemphasize anything,
mm,
right? But I'm not going to disagree with you about that. I
mm-hmm,
prefaced my entire video saying, this isn't like the worst thing in the world. I mean,
right.
President Sunday made a video about it where he was so disgusted he couldn't even watch like a minute into the interview. He was just, oh, this is disgusting. Right, and President Sunday does that, he overreacts,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, reacts based on disgust sometimes, one of my criticisms of him.
Yeah, I think that was like a stupid reaction from him. It's like, dude, this is nothing. You look stupid. But
Right, but I do think there are
I guess that
reasons
would be
to
an optics thing as well, I guess, because you look stupid, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah, so optics do matter, right? And I think,
Mm,
my first 2 points are about optics, and if you're willing to concede that optics do matter, you just, like, you don't always fulfill, respecting your, like, prescriptions concerning optics. That's fine.
I think optics matter, but having fun on the internet and not taking things too seriously matters more. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Okay, right, but
Maybe
you
I'm just
know,
immature, but like, I don't know.
you are like what, 4 years younger than me. All the
Mm-hmm.
difference right there showing through in this debate. Yeah. Listen, when I was 16, I loved the commentary sphere, all that shit, blood sports.
Hell
I
yeah.
guess I'm just older now. I'm boring. I'm soy. That's what's
Mhm.
happened. I'm soyed out.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm willing to concede a little bit on the last point. Just
Okay.
in summary, like I'm willing to concede, like yeah, if she's got carers, like it's gonna be harder to manipulate her, like seriously. Although I still do think like there's a risk there, you know, and you're increasing it by bringing publicity. And the two optics points, you do understand what my first point was, right?
The first point about the it makes autistic people look bad, that one?
No, my first one was that it reflects bad on Keffels herself to have a friendly conversation with someone who's probably a rapist, right? Many people will take it like that. That was my point.
Like as in that's what, like it makes her look bad in terms of like the eyes
Yeah.
of a, I guess, yeah, I mean, she did get a negative like to dislike ratio, so I guess there's that. So I mean, I'm not gonna say that the
Yeah.
video was received well by the vast majority of people that watched it. Like I guess you could argue that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't base whether a video is good or not off of the like to dislike ratio. I mean, I've
Yeah,
had
but that
videos
can tell you
get,
something.
nah, cause like I've had my videos dislike bombed by random Cheeto fan shitters. That doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my videos dislike bombed by monarchists before. That was wild.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
American
This is
fascist
just like
monarchists.
yeah, exactly. Like appealing to whether or not like the majority of people agree with something or think that something is good. I mean, that's just like a, like I don't think that whether or not a plurality of people deem it to be acceptable is what determines whether or not it actually is.
Sure, right, but you're not disagreeing with my overall point that, you know, to some people, you know, this is going to give a perception that's, you know, like sort of condoning or being sympathetic to a rapist, right?
Yeah, I agree that
And
people are
that's
gonna have that
bad.
perception, but see, but I feel like
That's bad though.
I feel like that's on them for having
Okay.
for I mean, I'm
Or
not
do you
saying.
think that she just like, you know, she accepts that, like she understands that some people might think that, and she's like, as a competent person, she's like consented to that, maybe? Because it
Sure,
also reflects poorly on her community then, because she's not just
sure, I
herself,
guess,
she's a
but
community leader.
I mean, sure, I guess, but at the same time, like, it's gonna be the case that, fucking, whatchamacallit, the people that come to that conclusion, like, I don't think that they're, necessarily correct, right? Like,
Well,
I mean,
of course
like
they're
the
not
first,
correct.
yes, because like in the first, um, like in under a minute of the video, like she literally says, yeah, Chris has done some really fucked up shit. And we all know what she was implying, right? So it's like, I feel like you have to be like a complete retard to like not understand that like, no,
Yeah.
she doesn't endorse rape, right?
Okay, but
So I feel
let's
like,
say that we've got
I feel like
like
it's the fault of the people that come to that conclusion. Cause like at that point, like that's just them being stupid, right?
okay, then let's say that we've got a scenario where we've got person A, person B, and person C. And you know, person B is this like roided up tard. Okay. And A and C are you know making a little joke that's innocent. But you know, they'd have reason to believe that the joke is gonna make, you know, the roided up tard person B really mad. Yet person A says it to person C anyways. And the roided up tard beats the fuck out of, you know, person C. I think that there's if person A has
I think that
reason to
person
believe
B,
that, like they've
I
still
think
done
person B
something
should go to
wrong.
prison then. You know, if they're beating somebody up over a fucking joke. Like I don't think that people like
Okay,
that should
but
be.
you would agree that
Yeah, well,
they shouldn't
no,
have
I would
said
argue.
that though.
No, I would argue that they didn't do anything wrong in saying that, and that instead person B shouldn't be allowed to participate in society.
Okay, you're kind of just like not engaging with the hypothetical. I don't know why you're not engaging with it, but it's pretty straightforward. I think that if they have reason to believe that saying this will result in person C getting beat the fuck up by the roidtard, okay, that they're bad. That's bad. They shouldn't say that. They shouldn't do that.
I mean, in that situation, like, you might want to whisper it in their ear or something instead.
Okay,
But-
so don't make a huge public video about the joke, you know, so all the roided up tarts can come beat person C up.
Well, I think what you would want to do is you'd want to find some sort of like a protection mechanism of person C, and then and so like you know, like how like droidicas in Star Wars have like those little force fields.
Yeah.
Get one of those, okay, and then they'll be impenetrable. They won't be able to do anything.
I see you're a top level expert hypothetical engager, you know, with that. So yeah, I concede a little bit on the last point. You seem to concede the first two. You know, we're happy to say that maybe, you know, ideally the video shouldn't have happened. Are we happy to say that now? Maybe if you're not strong enough to, you know, to act on it yourself.
It was awfully entertaining. I mean, maybe the utility produced by my entertainment along with the entertainment of thousands of others.
Yeah, goon to the locale,
outweighs the decreased utility.
So petty.
What?
Such a petty reason to want something to exist.
No, if
it's like minstrel's so funny though, right? It doesn't matter that it like reflects bad on like black people. I love blackface. It's hilarious.
Based? Oh my god. Yeah, blackface is my favorite.
Yeah, I loved it when Pie Girl did it. That was very base of them.
that was comedic gold. That was my favorite.
Yeah. I would have turned that into a GIF, like them just walking up.
I think the swastika really added to it.
Yeah. Are you offended by this? That's pretty funny.
I mean, personally, I think that if a joke is funny enough, I think anything can be a fair game for the most part.
I mean, sure, like in the context of humor, like there's a lot of leeway. Right?
Yeah,
like I like irony, I like satire, you know, like the friends that I have, you know, the friends that I keep in contact with from like the old days of like 2B2T when I used to play on that fucking Minecraft server. You know, all these people make like horrific, edgy jokes. I don't care about that because most of the time that's in private, you know, and if it's in public, it's with an audience that sort of understands that. And it's also in the context, it's framed as humor. Like it's even like given that frame. So.
For sure.
Yeah, but thanks for, you know, going over my video. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm also eating food. I don't know if you could hear.
I could kind of, you know, pick up on that. I just ate actually, like, you know,
I'm
I
doing
ate
a
a whole
Hassan
bunch.
moment.
Very nice. What are your thoughts on Hassan?
Honestly, fuck that guy. I hope Sam Hyde beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Yeah.
I think just like every time that a world event happens, just he gets progressively worse. At first I was like, oh, this guy's just a chill socialist, like whatever. You know, yeah, I've had debates with people defending him back in like
same.
early 2022.
Yeah,
but
same.
now
Like,
I just can't. I can't do it. I can't go along with it anymore.
Yeah, like I remember seeing YouTube comments being like, "Oh, every Hassan take is terrible." I'm like, I was responding, okay, he's not that bad. Like, he has like a bad dig every once in a while, but like, he's not terrible. He's not the worst. But as time goes on, it's like, damn, maybe they were right. I mean, every time he talks about foreign policy, it's just like, I wish he didn't open his fucking mouth. Like,
Yeah, it's literally just America bad, like literally.
mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And it's like, okay, America's bad, but like, you
Yeah, he
know,
has like no
Russia
analysis.
is fucking
think-
attacking Crimea, Ukraine, and all this stuff, and you're making weird ethnic arguments about it. Like, I don't know.
I think he accidentally came to correct conclusions about socialism because his level of analysis is so pathetically bad.
I think he believes in it. That's the sad thing. I think it's the people that he's been hanging out with. It must be like that second thought guy, like Hakeem, right?
Maybe.
It's got to be like their influence or something like that. I don't know. And he's also, I mean, he's not the smartest guy in the world. Of course, he says that. But just to say the things that he said about, you know, Ukraine, you know, the Houthis, it's just wild.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Like, he's like the largest political streamer, and that's how he conducts himself, is being a retard.
And I have to deal with, in the leftist communities that I'm in, I have to deal with these people every once in a while. You know, they always got the hammer and sickle right on their name, you know, on Discord even, not even on Twitter, on Discord. They've got the hammer and sickle. And they're saying like some whack shit about how like actually the Houthis like did actually pressure the West. And they did actually achieve what they wanted. It's like, what world are you living in? You're living in like a weird alternative reality world.
They're delusional. They're fucking delusional. They don't understand the world they live in.
Yeah. You know, people want to delude themselves, right? Like, I have this idea, like, people who are, you know, for whatever reason, ostracized, like, you know, the weird band kid, for example. They go to socialism because it's anti the society that made them feel like shit. It's anti the world that made them feel like an outsider and all this stuff. And so they end up deluding themselves. They end up wanting to believe that like North Korea is based actually, and like, you know, China is pro-trans. It's like
yeah, exactly. It's like they're just being contrarian for the sake of it. Like, they don't actually have any principled positions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back because I gotta go wash my hands because I was eating the food. But feel free to keep talking. Maybe talk to chat.
Sure. Yeah, what's up, chat? How's it going? I wasn't gonna say this when she was here, but you know, we all know the allegations are true, right? We all know that you know, Femyoz, you know, is a B word, you know, a bottom. We all know it. Am I right? Yeah, what do we all think about Hassan and chat? I think the Houthi thing was like the final straw for me. I thought with the Ukraine stuff he was just confused by Chomsky. But no. The whole ethnic argument was completely weird. There's no evidence for the breakaway separatist republics in the Donbass being like established to any extent by popular sovereignty. We can have an interesting conversation.
And I heard what you fucking said.
What? What did I say?
I had my headphones in. You said that the allegations are true, and that I'm the dreaded B word.
The real debate that we want to have, you know.
I will win this debate. All right, I will fucking win this debate. Okay. So your proposition is that I am a bottom. Mine is that I am not. So what evidence do you have to conclude that I am a bottom?
Well, I've observed many bottoms, you know, in my time on this earth,
So
right?
have I.
And I think we can, draw a rational inference given the traits that you're demonstrating, the maid outfit, your
Nuh-uh.
mannerisms and stuff like that. I think it's
No.
rational. It's practical knowledge that you are in fact a bottom,
Ah, well, you
right?
see, that's an appeal to quote unquote practical knowledge fallacy, which basically just
What?
means that you're that you um that you are not actually creating an actual argument. You're just saying, it's practical knowledge. Well, what if it's practical knowledge that these are all top characteristics? You see,
Listen,
it
I have
is
a
simply
meta-analysis.
it's simply
Hmm.
you are simply asserting these
I have a study.
socially constructed ideas of what you think a bottom is. However, because these ideas are socially constructed, they're not even real. So checkmate, libtard.
Listen, Femyoz. How do you know the sun will rise tomorrow? How do you know? Answer me
Did
that.
I didn't state that I knew.
Oh,
I
do
don't
you
know
not
that
know?
I
You don't
mean
know?
it'll probably, well, actually, the it's not that the sun will rise, it's that the earth will slowly rotate, which makes it look like the sun is rising,
Okay,
but
whatever.
the
You know
sun
what I
isn't
mean.
actually going upwards.
This is just more assumptions. I hope you realize that. The Earth is actually flat
Assume
and
it.
motionless.
Yeah, no, it's actually a dodecahedron.
Yeah. This is like arguing. This is how I tried to have a debate with my boyfriend, and this is just how it went. Eventually, they became like an actual like trivialist, and they like affirmed all things and denied all things. I thought that was really based when they did that.
Hell yeah.
I was like, I won when they did that. I'm like, yes.
Well, it's such a difficult thing to argue against, though. Like, if you just assert that everything and nothing is true at the same time, like, what the fuck do you say in response?
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, you win, Yeah, but he's an artist, so obviously
Makes
artists are gonna
sense.
be like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought I was wild because I affirm contradictions, but
I don't
he
affirm
affirms
contradictions.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't affirm contradictions, but I do like to have the most non-specific position possible in shitpost style debates because then nobody can argue against it.
Yeah, you're just obfuscating from the fact that we all know that you are a bottom.
Nuh-uh.
You're guilty of being a
No.
bottom.
No, I'm not. Source?
Yeah.
Can you find me a peer-reviewed study
Source is
that
me.
says that I'm a bottom?
I'm the source.
Oh yeah, well, I'm the source that says I'm not a bottom, and I would know better than you because I know myself better and my internal thought process is better. You see,
this is a real thing.
Bottom
this is a real argument.
is a mindset, and I know my mindset better than you do.
Every person I have interacted with from your community has been a bottom. Okay, so therefore,
I'm a top.
We have
because bottoms are attracted to tops. Think about it. So that's why
you're
why they're
also a
attracted
member
to
of
me.
your community, right? If everyone who I know, what their
yeah, but they
all
orchestrate around me, okay? Because I am the center of it all. I am the top in the center. Because if you think about it, like all of the bottoms in my audience are going to be attracted to tops. So this would actually be evidence that I'm a top and not a bottom.
Yeah, but you're also attracted to your audience, though.
Well, if they're all bottoms, wouldn't it be the case?
Yeah, they make you blush a lot.
Oh,
I've seen
shut
it
up.
happen. I've
No,
done
they
it in
don't.
the past.
No, they
I've
don't.
done it in the past. Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
You know.
Source?
You know.
Source?
First-hand experience. That's
Shut up. No, you didn't.
I literally did it.
How do you know you weren't hallucinating?
How do you know that you're not hallucinating the fact that you're not a bottom?
Shut up.
Actually a bottom in the real world. right? The
Nuh-uh.
objective stance independent world, right?
No,
You never know. You're
I'm,
just
I'm,
automatically bottom.
no, no, I'm
Ontologically, you're
not.
bottom. It's
Nuh-uh.
your nature.
No. No, it's
Yes.
not.
It's
Nuh-uh.
a matter of your being, okay?
Nuh-uh. No, it's not.
You see, if you understand the teachings of Plato, there's a world of forms that we all come from, right? And there's a form of Femyoz, and that form is a bottom, right?
Source?
Source recollection, that's divine
Yeah,
recollection. That's my source.
oh yeah, well, I have divine recollection of me being the biggest dominant top of all time.
Prove it to me right now. Dom me right now in this call.
Shut up.
Yeah, show me your dominant energy. Come on.
I'm already being dominant. What do you mean? I've been dominating
this
you
being
the entire
dominant?
discussion. I've been dominating you the
really?
entire discussion.
So you conceded 2 of my points. I only conceded partially 1. I think I dominated you in this conversation.
No, technically, I didn't admit to conceding anything.
Yeah, I had to do it for you. That's how much of a sub you are.
No, nuh-uh.
Yes.
No.
I think this rests the case
Okay, but you're
that you are a
literally,
bottom.
aren't you literally 5'3"?
I'm 5'4", okay? When the doctor told me I was 5'3", I yelled at them and they said it's 5'4". I yelled at them too much.
Oh, are you 5'3"? You want to be 5'4" really bad?
I'm not 5'3", okay? The doctor says I'm 5'4".
Uh-huh. Sure.
Look at you trying to dom me.
You're still tiny. Like, even if you're
I assure you,
5'4",
I'm
even
not
if you're
tiny,
5,
I assure you.
if I convinced the doctors to say I'm 5'7" instead of 5'6", I mean, we would still we still have the same gap in height. Let's be real. Like, you can't pretend like you're dominant when you're like, whatever,
Really?
3 inches shorter than me.
That just makes it so much more impactful when I do dom you in this VC. Right?
Yeah,
You're
okay.
literally submitting
Yeah,
to a
good luck.
5'4" king. 5'4"
Good
king
luck. Okay, yeah.
is
Well,
dominating
good.
you right now.
Well, good luck
Yeah.
dominating me in bed.
I'm in a committed monogamous relationship now. Okay, I can't engage with that,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to draw the line now in this conversation.
Yeah, that's where you draw the line. It sounds like you're a bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Monogamy is bottom behavior. That's true.
Long time no see, Femyoz. Saw you've been doing nuclear streams about Pie Girl. You better believe I have. How's your day going? It's been going good. How are you, Nifty Narfy? Bottom confirmed. Nuh-uh. That's not true. Bottomyos. I'm not a bottom. You're a bottom. You're all bottoms. Lord Pasta, you're like the biggest bottom of all bottoms, okay?
Listen, I don't lie about it, see? That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah, so you're just a bottom.
Yeah, openly. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
really, that's the meme. Really, I'm a switch, though.
Oh, I'm a switch. Yeah, that's what they all say. Oh, I'm a switch. I'm a switch. I'm definitely not a bottom. That's what they always say. Except for me, I'm actually a switch.
Yeah. Way to, backfire an argument right onto yourself.
No. No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's what all bottoms say, and then you say, "Oh, except for me, I'm actually, I'm the exception." Special pleading, right?
Actually, okay, that's what all. Okay, if all bottoms say that they're switches, that doesn't mean that everyone who says that they're a switch is a bottom, right? So it's gonna be the case that every single bottom says that they're a switch, but while at the same time there are people that are switches that say that they're switches, right? Right? These aren't mutually exclusive.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And what's the proportionality of bottoms to switches? That's what we need to find out to answer this question.
I don't know. I think that because I'm like I dominate everybody in the free marketplace of ideas in debates that you know, I think that means that I'm the ultimate dom if you think about it.
Sure, in a way. In a very you know, metaphorical way, you know.
Yeah.
But in a concrete way, you're a bottom.
Nuh-uh.
You know, in a very real physical way, you're a bottom.
No. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I think so.
No, you're a bottom.
And yes, and that's how I know you're one.
No. You're just projecting.
What would I have to project? I'm open about it.
You're projecting your own bottomness, and that you would admit that you have.
Okay. I mean, projection is for people who deny something about themselves. They're projecting it onto others, right?
No. Robin, you never beat me in a debate. Shut the fuck up.
What are your thoughts on the Shapiro versus Destiny debate?
I have not seen that.
I saw some of it. I saw there's this guy, Perspective Philosophy, who did a review of it, and that's how I saw it. That guy has some like weird views. He's like a progressive Catholic. Very interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I don't know. I don't usually see Catholics that are progressive. That's an interesting.
Yeah. And he's like he believes in like natural laws, so like Aristotelian, you know, like ethics. You familiar with that at all?
No, I'm not.
That's really interesting. It's like we understand like a ship, right? And then like the nature of a ship, like what it does.
Hold on. Robin says I did. It was about ethnocentrism. Oh, you mean when I said that not all what was it? Not all countries are equal. Like some countries are worse than others or some shit like that, which is an objectively true statement. Like I don't think that like to say that or was it to do with culture? Like for instance, a culture filled with misogyny and homophobia is inferior to a culture that's progressive, right? I think it's like a fairly obvious position, and I don't think you had any good arguments for the contrary. So
yeah, what would even be the contrary position?
I don't
How would you defend that?
I don't know. I think he might have been trolling. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting, this Aristotelian stuff. Like we understand like the nature of a ship, what it does and all that stuff. Well, Aristotle talks about, you know, the final cause of a thing. It's telos, right? It sounds really cool to say that. You sound really smart when you say that.
Wow, you sound like an absolute genius.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so impressive.
Yeah, but the telos of a ship is to be itself, so that means like not sink, you know, carry luggage, carry people on it. All right, so you get the ethics by asking like, you know, what